So I'm Tom Carey. I'm a connector, coach, and catalyst for higher education leaders in exemplary teaching and learning. The gig of mine that brings me here today is my position as executive in residence for teaching and learning innovation with the BC Association of Institutes and Universities. Most people in Ontario know me as a longtime faculty member at the University of Waterloo in engineering and the Associate VP for teaching and learning there. We view the capability to engage with innovation as one of the key capabilities that all our graduates should manifest. We should be able to develop, demonstrate, and document their ability to engage with innovation in the workplace and in their other roles as community members and global citizens. That doesn't negate the importance of what we usually think of in terms of innovation, commercializing technology discoveries, entrepreneurship, social innovation leadership, but it complements by saying every member of our workforce comes out of higher education ready to engage with innovation in terms of skills, knowledge, mindsets, and experiences. So let's say, first of all, how does our current system not provide that to our students? How are our graduates coming out? Coming out in many cases with the view of innovation as commercializing tech discoveries and not thinking about if I'm working for a school board, if I'm working in a hospital, if I'm working in the government, what role does innovation play there? I'm working in a small and medium-sized enterprise that's not focused around technology, but is focused perhaps around services. What are the ways in which I should be thinking about innovation there? And how does my role as someone in the workplace relate to what our organization does? How would I identify a need, create solutions? Who would have to help me with that in order to really have an impact on the organization as a whole and then beyond? So we don't deal with that in a curriculum structure. We don't provide the experiential learning opportunities for students to experience that. Although if we thought of our teaching and learning environment as a workplace for learning, then we could start to say, how could being immersed in our teaching and learning environment for 3 or 4 years convince you that every organization should be like us? That's a huge challenge for us in teaching and learning in higher ed. So how would that be different? How would that kind of a teaching and learning environment be a different workplace for our faculty, other educators, and our students? First of all, innovation would be a very explicit element. Sometimes now when a faculty member changes something about a course, there's almost an apologetic, let's see if we can sneak this in before anybody notices that it's a change, because some people aren't going to be very happy with it. As opposed to saying, this is a new way of carrying out the course. For some of you, it's going to represent a welcome change. Some of you are going to be very reluctant to participate in that, like you, Andrew, sitting there with your arms folded, communicating by your body language that you think you have more to lose from this than you have to gain. So let's work with that, because in 5 years, you're going to be standing at the front of a room trying to introduce a change in the workplace, and one of your team members is going to be sitting there kind of like you're looking at me now. So let's freeze frame your attitude right now and the good reasons you had for thinking that way, and then let's follow that through the semester so that you can start to think about, why did I react that way? What was valid about it? How could Tom have changed the way he presented it, and then the way he protected me from risk, and the way he ensured that I benefited, and not just paid in terms of an additional workload? So making those innovations in teaching and learning more explicit as meta-learning opportunities in their own right would really alter our culture in terms of how we carry out teaching and learning, how we encourage, support, recognize, and reward the teachers who do it. So in terms of the capability we're trying to develop, we're defining it in terms of a set of skills for innovation, a set of big picture knowledge about when those skills should be applied and why and how, and then a mindset or disposition, all of which has been acquired, developed, demonstrated, and documented in particular learning experiences. So how would we recognize that in a student? You would be demonstrating the skills within a particular learning activity in a course-based environment. which could include a work-integrated learning opportunity with an external partner. You would be demonstrating your knowledge of which skills apply when, who else do I need on the team, what skill sets are missing in all of those different situations. The dispositional one, of course, is the most difficult because you're the one who has to kind of do that. You have to examine yourself and ask, which of these different innovation stages can I make the most contribution to? Where have I demonstrated that capability? What have I recognized about myself that might impede my contribution in a particular stage? And what have I done about that? So, have I shown some initiative on my own part to really develop the additional capabilities that I feel I need? And have I shown the willingness to work with others who bring different skills and different knowledge to the table? That would normally be assessed in a kind of 360-degree project team environment where the other members of my team help me to be more aware and help to document by their endorsement where I make the most contribution, where I've best demonstrated the awareness of what other people can bring to the table and how to capitalize that. So we have in terms of status, we have our first pilot institution in British Columbia offering their first pilot course in spring term 2018. We hope that by fall term 2018, we might have elements of a digital badge start to emerge there, which we hope that schools like Lassonde will be able to pick up on. So our hope is that by fall 2018, we'll have 3 or 4 Canadian partners, one in each sector, in effect, who could be targeting to be globally exemplary in this within 4 to 5 years. That's the time frame by which we think we either have to establish the leadership role or watch other countries do it.